Kia ora, everybody. Have you ever had one of those weeks where things seem a little strange and off and weird stuff keeps happening to you? Because I've been having one of those weeks. And it might just be the fact that I've been in lockdown for so long now that my brain is starting to play tricks on me. But I've had like three things this week that I've just had to sit there and go, what? It's been kind of creepy to sit down and watch, to be honest. So the first one happened on Saturday, and on Saturday I actually spent most of my day in here, in this very spot, where I was busy editing stuff for Big Things Ahead and doing a couple of commercial jobs. You can't see it here, but just on this side here is the driveway that goes around to the back of my house, which is the only way to access my backyard other than going through the house. So I know who's coming and going because I see it all the time. Sometimes I have to stop recording because the neighbor's behind me going through. But I walked out into the lounge the other day to get something to eat, and this was what was outside on my front deck, and I hadn't been outside all day. So this actually kind of creeped me out. I have no idea what happened or how it got there. I never move the cushions. I sit on them all the time. So that was the first thing that really sort of freaked me out a little bit. Same thing actually happened the other night. I walked outside because I thought I heard a noise. I go out there, couldn't see anything, but all of my flowers in my garden were still blooming at 9 o'clock at night, and that's kind of weird. Flowers don't usually bloom at night, and I thought that was super freaky. Beautiful sight, but still kind of super freaky. I have, however, found out in the meantime that irises, which is what these flowers are, bloom based on heat, not on sunlight. So it must have just been a really warm night, I'm guessing. Still creepy and beautiful to see at the same time. And then yesterday, I had this happen to me. I walk into the lounge and all of my washing on my washing rack, because I have one of those little indoor drying racks, because there's just me, I don't need to use the whole washing line. It had all been knocked off, like physically something had knocked off all of the washing from the washing line. It had been sitting on the line for 3 days, so it was definitely stable there. But I walk in and everything is all over the floor. And I'm just sitting there going, that's like 3 creepy things in a week, and I don't really like creepy things. When you live alone, you just sort of, you don't want to go too paranoid. You don't want to go too crazy with these things. But this was really starting to freak me out. So I'm trying to work out what on earth is going on here. So I actually reached out to my landlord to see if they had any ideas or clues as to what was going on. She says, no, as far as they're aware, they've never had any issues like that before. It's a relatively safe area. Nobody's gone past. Nobody was definitely in the house to knock over the washing. So that was kind of strange. But she did mention that the previous tenant, his father passed away in here. And I thought, okay, well, it's not uncommon. People die all the time. It's not the most unusual thing. And that was a few years ago now. I've had no issues like that since I've lived here. So I couldn't piece it together. And as you know, I'm not a big ghost believer anyway. But it turns out he'd actually passed away about this week, 3 or 4 years ago. And that was kind of a weird coincidence. Whether or not it is something supernatural, or whether or not there's a really basic explanation that I'm just not seeing, I have no idea. But it's still kind of creepy to sit there going, what the hell's going on? Things moving around that shouldn't be moving around. That makes no sense whatsoever to me. If you've got any ideas or theories, though, I'd love to hear them. Nothing about aliens or monsters or anything like that, 'cause let's be real. The chances of it being something like that is actually really slim. But it's still kind of creepy. Super creepy. What a great way to finish the week. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. I will catch you next week.